Hey you guys, it's me, Sean Strong, and I'm so very excited to be back here at Foxhall, where I'm going to be making a floating arbor for you. Cannot wait to show you all the beautiful product courtesy of Mayesh and get started and show you how wonderful this is going to look. Don't do that. Do not. So we're going to be adding our wood sticks. They are already, it's redundant. All right, you guys, so the materials that we're including today are going to be your straight wire. We're also going to be using pipe bases down here and also using a copper pipe right here. It doesn't necessarily have to be copper, but I just like it because I know it's going to be sustainable. And I'm going to be using it over and over again for different weddings and events. So this is going to be something that we're going to be using as our base, and we're going to add all of our greens to it to create a beautiful floating installation for you guys. All right, you guys, so we're gonna be using some beautiful foraged items. We have these sticks over here, we have some foraged greens, we have explosion grass, we have some carnations, we have papyrus, we have lots of textures to create a really, really cool installation. I'm gonna go ahead and get started with this and show you guys step by step what I would do in order to create a floating arbor. So the first thing that we want to do to start our arch is make sure that we have a good foundation. Just like any centerpiece, any bouquet, anything that we're doing, we want to make sure that that foundation is strong and secure. So what we're going to do is start with our heavier branches right here. These are going to add to the pole right over here, and that way we're going to be able to secure things like our flowers, some of our greens to it as well. All right, you guys, so we're going to be using our chicken wire and our zip ties. The chicken wire is going to secure itself to the pole, and we're also going to use the zip ties to do that. We want to make sure that it's very secure because we want to add a lot of this product onto the pole right over here. I like to go ahead and just secure the chicken wire to itself. And then to make sure that it doesn't move, we're gonna add the zip ties to it. That's gonna create a little bit more strength behind the chicken wire. It's nice to have a good foundation and make sure we have enough security for all of our beautiful product. All right, so now that we have the base structure complete, we're gonna start adding in our beautiful product that Mayesh has provided for us. Everything on here is just foraged material. And I love being able to use stuff that you can just find in the environment because it really kind of makes things look very natural and feel very kind of ethereal. So we're gonna start adding in the elements that Mayesh provided. And I can't wait to show you how this all turns out. So if you're doing a foam-free installation like this, it's really nice to make sure that you're using things like water picks. Water picks are wonderful because you're able to fill them up with water, you're able to plug in the stems inside of them, and then you can start adding them into the installation. Now, for the purpose of this demonstration, I'm not using water picks just because they can be a little bit time-consuming. But right now, I'm just gonna go ahead and add in some dried material, and we're gonna be adding in elements that dry and hold up really well out of water. We're gonna make sure that we're keeping things kind of in their families again. Even though this is a large-scale installation, we still want things to look very natural. So again, keeping things in groups and kind of adding them in together as opposed to just having them kind of periodically throughout the installation. Now, I love explosion grass. I feel like it's an underutilized kind of element that people can add into centerpieces, bouquets, installations, and it really adds this kind of like nice gestural kind of element to it. What I like most about explosion grass is it's almost like you have to peer through the arrangement to kind of see what's happening. So if I start putting this in collections over here, it just adds this kind of like light, delicate touch to the arrangement or the installation. So I'm gonna start adding in some of this over here, and it's gonna really bring the installation to life. All right, you guys, so you can see how the explosion grass adds a bit of dimension to the installation. I think it adds a nice kind of finishing touch that just kind of adds a little bit more detail to it. So typically when I'm working outside, like on the grass, it's always nice to work underneath the tarp. But because I'm doing this video and I don't want there to be like a distraction of the sound of the crunching back and forth, we opted not to do that. But it's really beneficial because it makes cleanup so easy and so efficient. Now, we're almost finished with the installation. I have two more elements I want to add in. We're going to finish it off with some grasses down here at the bottom, and I'm also going to throw in some carnations. Now, I feel like carnations have such a bad rep with them. They're like known as a funeral flower, but they have some really, really beautiful varieties right now. I think it's really fun to add elements in that people wouldn't expect. What I like to do with carnations is just kind of ruffle them back a little bit and pull the centers out. It changes the whole entire shape of the flower, and it really kind of elevates the design. It just gives a little bit of variation to the flower that everyone seems to hate. I think that's beautiful. All right, you guys, so now I want to add in a little bit more grass. Again, all about texture when you're working in a monochromatic color palette. You want to make sure that there's a lot of depth, a a lot of movement and a lot of texture for the eye to kind of follow. Otherwise, things start looking a little flat, and that's the last thing we want. We want this to be engaging with the audience, so that I think by adding in different textures like this, it's really gonna help make that engagement happen.
Sunshine, sunshine.
All right, thank you guys so very much for watching this tutorial on how I made a floating arch. Thank you, Mayesh, for the beautiful product. I cannot wait to see y'all's interpretation of this at home. Feel free to tag me on Instagram, direct message me. I'd love to see how you guys created something very similar. Now, this is definitely something I wouldn't mind getting married under, so you know who I'm talking to. I'm gonna get a picture under this, and I can't wait to see you guys later on. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll talk to y'all later on. See ya.
Bring on the summertime.